Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lone Vik and today I'm delivering to you an unboxing video of Lords of Ragnarok, the new area control strategic game from Awaken Realms, the people behind Lords of Hellas, Etherfield, ISS Vanguard, Tainted Grail, many good and very famous games. And I very rarely do unboxing videos, but with those big titles, with titles that a lot of people have been waiting for, with titles that had so much hype and that have so much content inside, well, there is no other choice. You can also expect a how to play video on my channel for Lords of Ragnarok very soon. Check out next week. It should already be uploaded, but for now we'll be looking inside of all of these boxes that you can see. Now, I went for the gameplay all-in pledge, which consists of the core box, the stretch goals over here, the Seas of Aegir and Utgard Realm of the Giants. I didn't go for Sundrop, I will explain why later, and I didn't get all the terrain expansions and the fancy rune tokens and stuff like that. I went for everything that I require to play the game. Before we dive into each of those boxes and take a look at all the content, if you like what I'm doing here on my channel and you would like to support my work, you can click the like button under the video, hit the subscribe and ring the notification bell below to be notified about new videos coming to my channel on a regular basis. And if you feel like it, there is a link in the description to this video if you would like to buy me a cup of coffee. And right now, let's start unboxing this giant, this long-awaited continuation, or maybe a version 2, however you want to call it, for Lords of Hellas, Lords of Ragnarok. And we'll be starting with the core box. Okay guys, so here we go. Let's open up the core box right now. Let's put the cover here on the side so that we can still see it in the screen. Okay, and well, the first thing that's on top of the box is the rulebook and the rulebook for the solo mode. Now, the rulebook doesn't seem very thick, to be honest. We've got the components, as you can see, quite a lot of those, and we'll be going through them in a moment. And we've got a pretty fine print, surprisingly, with a few images for examples, as you can see. The preparation game setup in the middle of the rulebook, and well, the rules over here and at the end of the book, which is only 12 pages long. So it's not a lot of read. I hope that the instructions in the rulebook is clear enough, as it was more or less with Lords of Hellas, so that we can follow the game easily. Now, the solo rulebook, as you can see, 8 pages long and also pretty tightly packed with text and a few examples here and there, but not too many. And we've got an envelope with thanks from the team, I assume. Yes, the big thank you from Marcin Świerkot and the Awaken Realms team. Nice touch with every game that they deliver. It's cool to see that they're appreciating their fans. Now here we've got 2 realm boards which are placed on the map during the game, and those are the versions for 2 players, as you can see by this icon. So those are separate 2-player versions right aside the regular ones for more players. And we've got an instruction of what to do with the miniatures for this game, because the army miniatures, as you can see, will have a dial with a counter to show how strong the army is. In comparison with Lords of Hellas, where you had peeps on the map and your armies were represented, each one was a separate unit that you were moving in a group, here you have one mini which has a particular strength using the dial, and you are moving those around the map. So I expect that the map will be a bit less crowded, a bit more readable because of that. I don't know about the solution to this, whether it's not a gimmick, whether it won't be a bit delicate. We'll see in a moment. But it's cool that they added an instruction for what to do with those, right? And now we've got, well, only 2 punch boards. There you go. As you can see, a lot of dials in the first one. And we've got the boards, like kind of those big tokens for all the other realms that we'll be using in the game, and also this one that we'll be using for Yggdrasil, where we have the special actions. and also a lot of rune tokens over here. And here we've got Muspelheim, another realm that we'll be using, the temples, which will be standees, and they have the plastic bases for those. Some more runes and those markers that we'll be using on the player boards for the heroes' attributes, and also 5 heroes, Aslog, Beowulf, Lagertha, Ragnar and Snorri, as you can see. And, well, that seems to be it when it comes to the punch boards. Alright, let's dive in further down. Okay, this is the Brunhild additional hero that you would get, you could buy, you could add as an add-on to your pledge, or you got for free within the first 48 hours or so, I remember, and I got it for the free version. I backed very quickly on this game because of my sentiment to Lords of Hellas mainly. So Brunhild is here, and this is the map. Let's do a little unfold as much as the screen allows me. So it's a 2x3, so it's a 6-piece map, as you can see. There we go. I will travel you through this map. As you can see here in the corner, this is the side for 2 players. And it is, as you can see, quite big with all those lands. And as you can see, for the 2 players on this edge over here, it is kind of unfinished, because the 2-player version will also serve as a 5-player map for the stretch goal part. And we'll talk about this later when we get to that box. And now here on the other side, as you can see, we've got the 3- and 4-player map. I'll show as much as I can over here. There we go. This is the space for Yggdrasil, so it goes here. And we've got, well, similarly to Lords of Hellas, we've got the provinces with their neutral strength, and we've got places for the monuments that you can see, for example, over here and, well, over there in the north. And we've got places for the forges, which are those empty spaces in each realm or in each region or something like that. I haven't read the instruction yet fully, so I just have the kind of glimpse of what the rules are. But let's fold the map and continue. Okay, so here we've got the boss and the monster boards, I believe. Let's take them out of the wrapper. And this is how those guys look like. So we've got Fafnir, as you can see. We'll get to the miniatures later. Grendel and Hati and Skoll are over here. We've got the Troll, we've got Huldra, we've got Draugr, and there is the boss. In comparison to the monsters, there's the boss, who is low-key in the base game, but if you have the stretch goals, you will have more bosses to come. And now, as you can see, we've got the player boards over here, and there are 4 of them, and let me just take the wrapper off of this. Not a quick job, I sped it up a bit. And as you can see, we've got 4 player boards. They're double layered with those 3 stat columns, the place for the runes, the hero card, I believe, goes here, and the priest pool over here. So this is the blue, the green player, the gray player, or black player maybe, and the red one. So they're all nice and very thick and very solid. I like it a lot. We've got the markers for each player, so those are red. I won't be taking them out of the baggies, but you can see and get the gist. So we've got the red, we've got the green, the blue, and also we have the black player. And also we've got the rings that we'll be using for the heroes and the big ones that we'll be using for the monsters, which we will be able to control on the map. So not only hunting monsters as in Lords of Hellas, but also taking control of them and, well, using their abilities to make life more difficult for other players. It kind of smells a bit of Blood Rage in this way, but, well, this is not a review, this is an unboxing. We'll get to that when we're reviewing the game and talking about the rules in depth. And now, as you can see, there is this level of miniatures over here. So we've got 4 rows of players, the black player, the red, the blue, and the green. And we've got a Drakkar for each of those, and here we have, I believe, the heroes, together with the Valkyrie, which was this additional free one. We'll be taking a look at the miniatures closely later on. But right now I would like to take one of those miniatures, and I'll take red, which is my favorite color. Look how cool they look. And basically, I will insert one of those discs into the base to tell you how they feel, how good they sit in those bases and how firmly they are attached. Okay, so I hope that you can see right now. I've inserted the disc into the base. It doesn't seem flimsy, to be honest. It seems very solid and it sits very well. I think that you have to be a bit careful when plying off this base not to break it, because the plastic here is a bit thin. But other than that, the disc sits very firmly and it rotates, well, with a bit of resistance, which is good. You won't be able to accidentally change the numbers. And as you can see, it goes up to 6. So if I, for example, set it for 5, you can see the 5 here, the 5 here, and also, well, a bit offset, but also you can see the 5 here. So you can see the number on 3 different sides of the Mini, which will help with the readability. And what's also good is that if you insert those rings into the bases, the Minis still fit into the inserts that you have in the box, which I remember was very annoying in some other games where you had to, for example, put the Minis into some plastic bases to mark their color or something, and then they wouldn't fit into the inserts and you had to take off those bases every single time, and so forth and so on. All right, the last level of the box, we've got 2 dice over here. As you can see, the white one is for solo mode and the red one is to control neutral monster movement. So if you're not controlling the monster or any other player. Now we've got a tiny insert here with the priests, as you can see. So for 4 priests for each player color, and also the bases for the temples. And now at the bottom, quite a lot of cards, and also the 3 god monuments and the monsters, as you can see. So we'll be talking about the miniatures later on, and right now just let's take a look at some artwork on some of the cards. These, I believe, are the artifacts. Yes, they are. So you can see that we've got, well, everything's rotating around Scandinavian mythology here. So we've got Mjolnir for Thor, we've got Gungnir, which is Odin's spear, we've got Brinsingamen, which is Freya's artifact, we've got also Grendel's arm, we've got Sleeping Potion, the Ring of Andvari, and we've got Blood of the Undead. We've got them. The graphics are very nice, the artworks are cool, very thematic when it comes to this mixture of science fiction and mythology, like Lords of Hellas got us used to. And we also have this foam insert in here that fills in the space if we want to sleeve the cards. And we've got, well, 4 packs of foiled cards. As you can see, we've got the blessings here, we've got player aids, and also the temple cards. We've got the actions for the automa, so this is the solo mode, and I don't know what those cards are, but they are probably for solo mode as well. We've got the event deck over here, the combat cards. I won't be unfoiling all of those right now. I won't be unwrapping those live, but you can see that there are quite a few. Okay, so now let's pack all of this into the box back again, and let's take a look at the minis from the core box. Okay guys, so let's take a look at the core box miniatures first, and as you can see, I've got a very kind of household setup for the presentation, and those are right now, well, if it works, it's not bad, right? And here we have, as you can see, the 4 examples of miniatures from the core box for the 4 player colors. And as you can see, the detail on this is way good. I didn't take the Sundrop version because, well, I wasn't very satisfied with the one I got for Lords of Hellas, and I knew that with those minis, the quality of the minis, I would probably want to paint them anyways, and the Sundrop would only get in the way, or so I thought at least. So well, we'll see how I fare with the painting, but you can see the bases are all cracked and really cool looking. Not too much detail on them though, but well, they do the job. Whereas when it comes to the minis though, as you can see, the details are there and the minis are definitely well made. Let's spin this around to take a look at the red clan or the red player's army. Here we go. Look, even the axe has got a lot of detail and a lot of kind of small bits on it. You can see the chain over here and the belt and everything. They are a lot better looking, in my opinion, than the design for the units that we had in Lords of Hellas, which were a bit smaller because you had to have more of them on the map. Here, those counters that will be in the bases are doing the job, and I think because of that they could squeeze a lot more detail into those miniatures. Take a look at the green right now, and he is also very detailed, incredibly well. All of those little elements on the knee pads and the axes that he has, a dual wielder as we can see, and the armor over here with the head. Even the face is pretty detailed as well. I think that the worst one when it comes to the detail over here would be the black army mini. Let me move this a bit closer for you guys. I don't know about this helmet over here and whatever this is, whether this is hair or something else. It's a bit kind of hazy when it comes to the detail in comparison to all the other miniatures. But, well, if painted, it's going to look cool anyways. Now let's move to the priests, which are a bit smaller in scale than those guys. And as you can see with the priests, we also have 4 unique designs, and even though they are smaller, let me grab one mini for a size comparison with the armies and the priests. There you go. As you can see, this is way smaller, like 30% or 25% smaller. The priest minis are, but the detail on them is still very satisfactory, if not to say very good. So let's take a look at the other ones. This is the black priest, as you can see, also pretty much detailed. Check out the runes over here on his robe. So you can get out quite a lot. The little sickles in his hands, and also the blue. Here we are. I'll move it closer. So again, this kind of mesh pattern on the dress over here on the robes is very clearly visible. It will be very tricky to paint so that it isn't covered by the liquid medium, but we'll try our best once we get to it. And also the green one, also quite a lot of detail on the drum and on the, as you can see, the beard here. The pose that he is in is a bit different than the others, because he's a bit leaning and a bit more, I think, dynamic than all the others who have their arms to the side, just like they were praying, but it looks very cool. Now, from the player miniatures, we also need to take a look at the Drakars, so let's do this now. And with the Drakars, well, I don't know, I think a bit disappointing really is the fact that all the Drakars are the same. The only difference is the color of the plastic. So you can see that the bases are again a bit detailed. You can see some waves and you can see some pattern here that can be painted, but as you can see, the sails and the ship hull itself, they are all the same model. Well, but I assume that it wouldn't pay off to design a separate 4 types of ships if it's only one miniature of each in the box. So, well, we'll give it a pass. But take a look at the detail. There is quite a lot of detail here, and you can see it very clearly, even on the sails themselves. So I think that this is a very satisfactory model all in all. Now let's take a look at the miniatures of the heroes, and we'll do it in 3s. So this is Ragnar, we've got Snorri and Brunhild in the background. So the bases for the miniatures, as you can see, are a lot more detailed than for the units themselves, and they have varying patterns and thematic design for them, and the detail is also great. Starting from the runes that you can see and the embroidery on the gear that the heroes have through, as you can see, this flag, I don't know how to call it really, that Ragnar has in the back. And also, if you look at Brunhild, she also has a lot of detail on her, on the cape, and even the hair and everything else. Yes, there is a lot of work that went into designing those minis. Lagertha and Beowulf in the back over here. So I think Aslog is the most detailed of the heroes' miniatures out of all of those, and the miniature looks really intimidating. But also Lagertha and Beowulf have a lot of cool details that you might want to take a look at. Also the runes on the axe with Beowulf. And well, the design is very consistent with the lore that they've created for the game. This is a bit like kind of space science fiction themed mythology that we can see here, so it looks all right. And here we've got Lagertha, as you can see, with the shield, which has also a lot of very sci-fi inspired details over here. And I won't be talking about all of the miniatures in detail, but I'll just show you all of them. So here is Loki right now in front of you. And here we have 3 of the 6 monsters that we have in the core box. And I will be guessing a bit that this is the Draugr. This cutie over here would be Grendel, if I believe. And this should be Huldra. So as you can see, very, very detailed and very well designed miniatures. And right now in front of you, you have the troll, and this is it. We've got Hati and Skoll over here, and in the background, you can see Fafnir. And now, guys, I know that you know what's coming right now. This is the piece de resistance in this game. I will adjust my camera ever so slightly because, well, this game comes with, in the core box, with 3 monuments that consist of 4 parts. The base that you can see here right now, the stage 2 that I've just applied and am slowly turning around right now towards you, as you can see, with 2 spots for the priests of players. And the 3rd section, let me add it over here and pan, there we go. And the last one, and well, you might have guessed, this is Odin. So I hope you can see the monument very clearly. Let's freeze for a moment with this one. I feel that they are a bit more solid looking than the one from Lords of Hellas. You can't kind of see any gaps and connections that much as in the previous one. They're only 4 part instead of 5, but they are a bit more sturdy in my opinion when it comes to that. I won't be putting all of them from piece to piece. I just did this one to show you the general idea, but this is Freya assembled, as you can see, and no Norse mythology game would be complete without the mighty Thor. Okay guys, so we are done with the core box miniatures right now. Okay guys, I hope this satisfied your curiosity a bit, because right now we are moving to the stretch goal box. And let's take a look at this. So Lords of Ragnarok, the stretch goals. Okay, we've got the 5th player expansion in here. So we've got 2 additional temples, so additional runes. We've got 2 new heroes, Skald and Egil. We've got a few new realms like Helheim for 2 players and also for a larger game. We've got Nidavellir and we've got Asgard. And as you can see, we've got some more of those dials for the 5th player. And this is the only punch board in the stretch goals. Now, we also have a short rulebook for the stretch goals, as you can see, that mainly lists everything that we have inside, but also explains how to incorporate the expansions from the stretch goal into the game. And the first thing that we can see is the board that will be used for 5 players, which is attached to one of the sides of the 2-player map, as you can see. And this will make the map even bigger. And now this is the 5th player, yellow, as you can see, 4 priests. We've got the markers, we've got the bases, and also the Drakkar, 6 armies, everything is here. And we'll take a look at the miniatures later on as well. We also have, as you can see, the player board for the 5th player. We also have a few new monsters in the stretch goal box. Let's take a look at those. So we've got Jormungandr, and sorry for my pronunciation, I'm not native Scandinavian, so maybe I'm butchering some of those names, but Jormungandr is here. We've got Fenrir, and we also have the Kraken. Well, you couldn't really have a game like this without a solid Kraken in it, so, well, a Kraken it is. Okay. And additionally, as you can see, we've got some new miniatures for the monsters and also for 2 of the heroes, here, and also the gods, and quite a stash of cards additionally to that. Okay, so let's jump further when it comes to this unboxing and take a look at the miniatures from this box up close. Now, with the minis from the stretch goals, let's start with, as you can see, the 5th player design. And you can see the army miniature, the priest, and the ship, which is also the same design as all the others right now. We also have 2 additional minis for the heroes, Skuld the sorceress, and the archer Aegir. And as you can see, very cool bone pattern here on the base for Skuld, and also the ram skull in her hand. I like it very much. The bow from Aegir looks a bit fat. I don't know, maybe this is only my kind of impression. He's got 3 arrows drawn here, but, well, it looks kind of like spacey and sci-fi, so let's not dwell on that. We also have 3 new monsters in the mix with the stretch goals. I don't know if you can guess who is who, but we've got Jormungandr over here. This is the Kraken, surprisingly looking more crab-like than we would expect from something that usually has 8 tentacles and devours ships. And this is Fenrir. And also in their fully assembled versions, as you can see, this is Heimdall's monument. And in a very dynamic pose, here comes Hel. Okay, so going from the biggest to the smallest boxes, right now let's take a look inside Seas of Aegir, which is an expansion that adds 14 new cards, 1 new boss instead of Loki for this case, 21 models of ships, and also the boss and 1 new monument, and a rulebook inside. So this expansion introduces a new god, Aegir, which will allow players to strike from the sea with powerful Snekkars. But not only, players will gain more control of the sea regions. This expansion also introduces a new boss, Naglfar, the ghost ship, which will be hunting sea regions by blocking players' possibilities and harassing armies that wander too close to the shore. This is the description. Now let's see what's inside. So here we have the box unfoiled, and let's open her up. Okay, this is what we get. So we've got, as you can see, 4 Snekkars per player. Some of them got a bit knocked around. We've got them in 5 colors. We've got the Naglfar miniature. We've got the Aegir statue. We've got a few cards over here. Whoops. So I believe some new artifacts on those smaller cards, and also some new cards and powers here for the god and for the Snekkars as well. Oh, and also inside the box, I missed that one, is the new boss card for Naglfar and a very short rulebook for what to do, as you can see, with this expansion. And right now, let's take a closer look at the miniatures. We have the Aegir monument from the Seas of Aegir expansion. And coming close behind him is Naglfar, the ghost ship. Additionally, in the Sea of Aegir, you will find 5 colors, but identically designed snackers, 4 for each player. Okay, so we're going from the biggest boxes to the tiniest one right now, and this is the last box in the gameplay all-in. This is Realm of the Giants, Utgard. And as you can see, we've got 1 Frost Giant monster tray, 5 control cards, 4 Frost Giant models, 2 Utgard Realm tokens, 1 artifact card and a rulebook. And this expansion introduces the Frost Giants that can be used in one of 2 ways: as a supportive power players can use in battles, or as a monster harassing the player's armies. Let's take a peek inside. Okay, for a small box we've got quite a lot of content. As you can see, we've got a new realm board, we've got a monster tray or card, the realm board of Utgard for 2 players, a larger one. Here is the rulebook, similarly to the Seas of Aegir, a small one at that. We'll get rid of those baggies, and here we've got the 4 miniatures and also some larger and smaller cards inside. Okay, so let's dive into the miniatures for this box as well, and that will be the last one. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the last piece of the miniature extravaganza in Lords of Ragnarok. Those are the 4 giants from the tiny Utgard Realms of the Giants expansion. Okay guys, so I hope that this was a satisfying look inside the Lords of Ragnarok all-in game pledge, and as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, pop into my channel next week to see a how to play video for Lords of Ragnarok, where I'll explain all of the rules for a multiplayer game, and hopefully this will help you master the game or understand the rules, and also maybe if you haven't purchased this game yet but you still have a chance, or if you're still waiting, get some more hype in and maybe decide to pull the trigger on this even. For now, thank you very much for watching, guys. My name is Lone Vik. This was Lords of Ragnarok from Awaken Realms. And if you like the content here on my channel and you would like to support what I'm doing here, let me remind you that you can always click the like button under the video, hit the subscribe and ring the notification bell below to be notified about new content on my channel on a regular basis. And also in the description to this video you can find a link where you can buy me a cup of coffee. And for now, thank you very much for watching. Once again, Lords of Ragnarok from Awaken Realms. This was an unboxing video by me, Lone Vik. Thank you very much. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.